This video is about how we made a professional iPhone commercial from home. I will take you behind the scenes and show you the complete process, from setting up the scene, showing you the lighting setup, filming the shots, the editing, music, sound effects, and color grading, and eventually show you how the right shots were turned into the final product. If you finished the video and you would like to go back to a specific part, I placed chapters in the timeline so you can easily watch a part again. Hi there, my name is Felix and welcome to How to Creative. Before we start, I want to thank my friend Daniel for helping me film these awesome shots on his Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K. Let's get started. Alright, as you can see here, we moved around some furniture in my tiny apartment to get a great little spot to work from. We used a super cheap foam board with a black side to use as the background because I wanted the video to have an infinite black background. Next, we use a C-stand, one of the most, if not the most important piece of equipment for any kind of video stuff really. We use it to rig the most important light of this setup, the Aperture 120D Mark II, an absolute beast of a light. Without a great diffuse light source, it would have been a lot more difficult to get the look we were going for. Aperture's lantern diffuser was used to create an evenly diffused light from above the product. As a bottom surface, we used a black plexiglass, and it has a great reflective surface which is amazing for product photography and videography. We noticed that the table was too low, and we came up with a creative solution to use some board games and LPs I had laying around to increase the height of the bottom surface a bit. Next, we took out the camera and started playing around with settings, lighting positions to get the look right. So let me quickly illustrate the easy do-it-yourself setup that we got going on here. In the middle, on our tiny table, we have the bottom surface. The product will be placed on here. Right in front of it, we have the camera on a tripod, and right around the lens, we used a ring light to light up the front of the product that is facing the lens of the camera. Right above the product is the Aperture 120D Mark II with the lantern diffuser as I mentioned before. We also use the light control skirt that comes with the lantern to give direction to the light and not bleed on the background or around the product too much, but only really light up the product. We also placed a little LED light behind the product to give it some highlight on the edges and create a bit more depth so it does not disappear into the black background too much. We noticed though that it was really important to clean all the particles around and on the product before filming. We did not really prepare a shot list though, but we knew that it had to be chronologically filmed since it is an unboxing and it will have a reveal, so we would have to create some suspense. When everything was ready, we started filming. The first shot was basically bringing the product into the frame, which was supposed to introduce the product. We noticed it was a lot harder than we thought because of the extremely reflective plastic on the box. We came up with the idea to place the product perfectly so it wouldn't reflect any light, then take it out of the frame and reverse the shot in post so it looks like the product is placed. When the first shot was done, it was time to move on to the next shot and show more of a close-up of the product. We got inspired by the lighting reflections on the box that we tried to prevent in the first shot and make use of it now. We took the main camera off the tripod and it was time to go handheld. We wanted to make sure it was clear that we were showing the iPhone. So we made a close-up of the iPhone title on the box and moved the light to create an interesting highlight on the box. After that, it was time to remove the plastic wrap from the box to be able to open it. We wanted to put the box down to fluently be able to unwrap the plastic and put it to a standing position again to fully remove the plastic from the box. When the plastic was off, it was time to open the box. We had an amazing idea to make a dolly in or out from a total top perspective and open the box at the same time. We used the C-stand together with the Moza slide pod, which I also will be making a video about soon, and put the entire rig on it. It was such a great feeling that it worked. We were so excited. Though what we hadn't thought about was the reflection the camera would cause on the bottom surface. So we replaced the bottom drop with the black foam board. We decided to take some extra close-up shots from the side of opening the box with the initial setup. This was honestly so satisfying. Next was the shot of pulling the phone from the box. It It has a nice little lid, so we decided to make a close-up focus pull from the phone getting pulled out of the box by the lid to reveal a bit of the inside as well. After that, we put the rig on the tripod again and we created a total shot from the same perspective as the very first shot. A total shot of the phone to reveal the screen and get the very satisfying pulling the plastic off the screen. We were already thinking about the movement transitions between the shots. So the idea was to raise it, get the plastic cover off the screen and turn it on to reveal the Apple logo. Now that the phone is out of the box, we really wanted to capture the experience of getting this beautiful phone in your hand for the first time and showing its design. So we took several close-ups of the materials, revealing the lenses, showing the bottom and the buttons. Alright, it's time to get into the editing. First, making the timeline with the right settings, and then importing all the footage into the timeline. This is where the rough cut starts, going through all the footage, cutting and selecting the right ones and putting them in order to see if the sequence makes any sense. This was the most time-consuming part for sure. When I got all the right shots, I quickly applied a LUT to get a better idea of what the footage will look like. I was really happy with how the footage turned out. After that, I'm putting a color label on all the shots so I can see if I have any duplicates and easily be able to rearrange clips if necessary. Then I do a bit of reframing, positioning and stabilizing since a lot was filmed handheld. Here I took a good look at the footage of the dolly top-down shots we did, but I noticed that it was not going to fit well with the other shots, even though I really like the idea. What do you think? Last but not least, I'm creating a little sequence of all the extra material close-up shots, making selections of the best shots and putting them in order. Here's where I got a great idea. I could use the last bit of the shot where it was turning on and showing the Apple logo as a conclusive final shot. I noticed that one of the moving close-up shots was actually transitioning into the movement of pulling away the phone. Now we've got ourselves a nice little edit. Time to really look at the sequence and see if it makes sense. I start with the fine-tuning and I noticed that the clip in pink, the one where I pulled the plastic off the box, is a bit unnecessary, because I put the box down and then back up. So it was enough to just show the unwrapping on the top to get the idea. I was happy with the way the clip sequence was and it was ready for some music. This to be able to edit the shots on the beat, get a better rhythm and finish the clean edit. Trying a lot of music to see which one fits best. Still not happy, going back for some more music. I thought I found the right track. I added the little Apple logo at the end to really get an idea of what the final product was going to look like. Here I started fine-tuning the color grade and try some different looks. Don't want to go too deep into detail, but the most important part is that we shot everything in 6K RAW, which means you can do a lot with the daytime post. I used DaVinci's RAW panel to adjust some basic settings and exposure. Most importantly, we used video black levels to get the blacks really nice and deep. And then a second node for some fine adjustments in the color wheels, just playing with shadows, midtones and highlights while looking at the scopes to correct the colors and shading and get the look that felt right. When I was happy with the grade, I noticed that the music still didn't quite hit right. So I got back into the music search to get a new tune. Maybe get something a bit heavier? Maybe too heavy. Do you get how important music is for video? Maybe this one. I like that the song has a build-up. Let's start the beat when the box hits the surface. Time for some sound effects, which are really important. And then I saw it. What if, just before the drop, I can put in a sound effect of pulling the plastic off the screen to make that transition really clear and still get that satisfying sound that everyone craves for? Initially a fierce hit for when the box hits the surface and start the music. A riser, if you will. Oh yeah, baby, that's it. Some extra wind. Let's fade the sound effects a bit. Some plastic. The opening of the box. Some more whooshes to create more impact and movement. Then a bit more grading and grain reduction. When this is done, we do some cleanup of the particles in the frame. And last but not least, I tracked the hand for a mask to reveal the Apple logo. And that's how we made a professional iPhone commercial from home. Let's see a bit before and after. I hope that this might have inspired you and it shows that you can even make something cool at home. Just start creating. For any questions, thoughts, comments, post them below. Also let me know if you would like to see more of this stuff. Thank you for watching. This was How to Creative. See you in the next one.